This is Wanderhoof. Washington State was the first place after like so many months of trying to figure out what we were going to do in the videos we were going to make. This was like our first attempt.
Yeah, our first real attempt, going out, having a plan, knowing where we were going to be staying, kind of, and knowing the places that we were going to see. We handpicked these places, and it definitely lived up to expectations.
It's kind of interesting to spend some time in your home state, like the state that we both grew up in.
Yeah.
And then literally everything we saw on this trip we've never seen before.
Yeah, it was very cool.
The Olympic Peninsula.
The Olympic Peninsula, which I didn't know is actually pretty high up on people's destinations to see.
It's one of the only rainforests in like North America. Thanks to your parents for suggesting, what was it?
Lake Quinault.
Lake Quinault, home to the world's largest spruce tree.
And it just happened that we were driving right by it on the way to our first destination. And honestly, at this point, we didn't really know how long it would take us to drive the RV certain distances. So Lake Quinault was actually the perfect place for us to spend our first night on the road.
It was our first night on our first wanderhoofing journey, and it was interesting.
So our first stop was going to be the Olympic National Park.
Olympic National Park lies on the narrow peninsula washed by the waters of the Pacific, the Straits, and Puget Sound. Here in the tip-top corner of the continental United States is America's great wilderness park. Almost 1 million acres of rugged beauty and marshland grandeur.
Of all the things in the Olympic National Park that we wanted to do, we had just enough time to do it all. And I'm glad that the first thing we did was the Hall of Mosses.
Yeah, the Hall of Mosses was incredible. It was absolutely surreal.
The second hike wasn't as easy, and definitely didn't plan it too well.
Yeah, the Hoh River Trail.
Which led us to the 1 Square Inch of Silence, which is essentially a sound recording project that was set up to try to find the quietest spot in North America.
What's special about the 1 Square Inch of Silence and about Wanderhoof is we're trying to find places off the beaten path that many people haven't even heard of. Dude, we found it! It's right here!
4 miles later, one way, we got 4 miles back, and we had to go quite a bit off the trail behind us, to the point where it seemed mildly uncomfortable.
Yeah, still a little nervous being off the trail this far.
But we got to hang out with some deer like 2 feet away. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, they're just wandering around here somewhere.
And truth be told, we were ready to turn around about 3 feet that way until Shannon spotted the Red Rock.
The Red Rock.
So where are we? We are in what is known as the 1 Square Inch of Silence.
My work as the sound tracker has taken me to the wildest, most distant corners of the planet. And after 15 years, I realized, by gosh, you know, Olympic National Park, even though it's in my own backyard, I lived in Seattle at the time, was really the finest example of any place I'd been. I decided I was not going to leave it up to somebody else, that I would make my effort to save at least 1 square inch of silence. And I would do it here at Olympic National Park, the place I love. So I explored and I got to this moss-covered log and I put the stone down on the log, and I've been defending it ever since from all noise pollution.
If you can find it, it is marked quite simply by a tiny red rock.
So I think all in all, Olympic National Park was awesome.
Yeah.
And the next thing we wanted to visit, right, was the tree graveyard.
The tree graveyard. We were actually going to stop at Second Beach, which is supposed to be gorgeous for photography and just beautiful, but unfortunately, they didn't let codas on the trail at Second Beach.
No dogs.
No dogs. So instead, we ended up going to Rialto Beach, also known as the tree graveyard. Honestly, at this point, we had gotten through so much more in such a quick time.
Yeah, we were going fast.
We were going so fast. And again, it was our first Wanderhoof trip, so we weren't really sure what to expect timing-wise as far as driving and staying the night, how tired we were going to be. And so the last part of the Olympic Peninsula trip, we didn't really have a plan. But the last stop was one of the coolest.
Yeah, and it was totally on a whim. You picked it, and I didn't know what I was in for, but it wound up being very cool when we got to
Port Townsend.
Yeah.
In order to see Fort Warden, which was freaking cool.
We are here at the Kenzie Barracks, and we are going to go exploring.
Yeah, it looks kind of spooky.
Hello!
Let's go. We've had a lot of fun at Fort Warden exploring these barracks. It's a little creepy, a lot of dark, a lot of fun, and really easy to get lost. So it's been awesome. Time to move on.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Definitely recommend if you ever go up to the peninsula, go to Port Townsend. I'm really glad we came here.
Camp at Fort Warden. They got beach campsites, so pretty cool. Okay, peace.
But let's not forget, this is only the first part of our first trip.
That's true. We got some stuff in store, and you know what was funny is like some of the biggest stuff we had planned for Washington State wasn't even in this video. It's in the next one.
That's right.
So stay tuned, watch the next one. Cool.
Stay tuned, watch the next one. Cool.
Okay, peace.
Okay, peace.